Hey, what is up, everyone? Thank you for joining me here on Retro Geek Gaming. I do apologize. I know. It's been a while since I made a video, and I'm sorry. Just haven't really felt like there's been much to talk about lately, and it's the same problem that keeps to keep plaguing my mind. That anything that I talk about is probably going to be talked about by some bigger YouTuber. So what's the point of me talking about it? But I decided, you know what? I need to get a video out. And I do have some stuff that I kind of feel like ranting about. So if I go on some rant videos, I hope that you'll follow me and just kind of, join me along in my train of thought. If I do go on those rant videos, like I think that I might start doing. And that you'll join me on that trip. So if you want to, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, throw your computer out the window, do whatever it is you feel like doing after watching this video. I'm not going to really blame you too much. You can just, turn your computer off and completely stop watching. Up to you. But we're going to go ahead and get into a topic today that I find is a little bit interesting, especially as a retro gamer, someone that likes the older consoles, that likes what they did, the history that they represent, and just like, because you know me, I love atmospheric games. I love the future that we're getting, but there's something about the older games too, and the simplicity and some of the cool stuff that they try to do back in the days. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about it right here in a article that I found. Initially came to my phone, and I found an article again on The Gamer. So we're gonna go ahead and bring it up and talk about it. And that basically is that, hey, the Sega Dreamcast VMU, or the Visual Memory Unit, for those of you that weren't around back in the day, is being updated for 2023. Now I think this thing is cool because look, one of my favorite systems from that era was the Dreamcast. Anybody that knows me knows how much I love the Dreamcast. The VMU just blew me away. The fact that you had this memory unit, this memory card essentially, that not only could go from accessory to accessory, like it could go from one controller to the other, and could also then be moved to the light gun and all that stuff, but it had so much functionality. As you can see, it had a D-pad and buttons to where you could connect to other people that had VMUs. I know my friends had VMUs that they bought specifically so that they could raise chow, and then we would connect the two VMUs from the little slot up at the top, and then of course those chow would battle each other, or they would breed, or whatever. And also the fact you connect the VMUs to like transfer data between each other, that was awesome. Especially back in like the early 2000s and stuff like that. That was just something that was just cool to me. So I know it's been almost 24 years. It came out in 1999. But the VMU is getting a lot of innovative new features that I thought was cool. Because, like I said, you could swap saves by connecting the VMU. You could play games on it that you could download. Like I remember the one of the first games that I downloaded off of the internet back in the day was Snake. And yeah, I know Snake came standard on all the phones back then, but hey, this was something that was kind of cool. So yeah, and I think here's a video here that we'll watch in just a tad bit. But I just thought it was just cool that, hey, there's a company out there, right, that's trying to basically take this thing and update it. Let me see if I can get an exact list of what exactly it has. Yes, I found it here. So according to this, it's going to now have USB-C charging, which is cool, because if you knew the Dreamcast back in the day, you used those little circular watch batteries. It was annoying because it seemed like they'd die after like a day or two. It seemed like they were just really short. Now you could use the Dreamcast without the batteries. You stuck it into the console and it still showed you the little display of whatever the game was showing you. But otherwise, it took batteries. They had to keep replacing. So the fact that it has rechargeable built-in batteries is really cool. Apparently there's also going to be micro SD card storage. So I guess that you're just going to choose the amount of storage that goes into it automatically. A backlight, which is cool. Image streaming to PC and a whole host of other perks. But otherwise, it's going to have basically the exact same as how the VMU looks, which is cool. Because for me, the VMU was like the coolest part of the Dreamcast. I mean, not only was it cool, just how small it was, and you could get online. I played a lot of Phantasy Star Online on it. But just the fact that, again, you had this thing that was like the PlayStation's memory cards. That was like the N64 and the GameCube's memory cards and all that stuff. But it took the data, and you could take it with you. That was one of the coolest parts. Like, I would take my VMU to work with me. I'd use it as a clock, as a timepiece to know what time it was. But I would also use it to play, again, Snake on it, or the little Chow adventure game, and raise my Chow, and then I'd take it home and connect it to Sonic Adventure and raise it. But let's go ahead and watch the trailer on this thing, because I think it's just going to be so neat what they're going to do with this. Let's go ahead and bring it up here, and we'll watch this together to just sort of get an idea of, you know, how this visual memory unit is going to be changed. Because like I said, it was a really neat feature back in the day to just have this thing. And it was really cool, again, to just have just the regular buttons, the up, down, left, right, A, B, and all that stuff like that. But just the fact that after all these years, people are still thinking of ways to improve the VMU, to make it better, you know. This makes me want to go off and grab a bunch of my VMUs and just, you know, just go and enjoy them and you know, get the, to just go and get the batteries for it and all that stuff like that. But it was also just a cool thing because, like I said, the Xbox used a lot, which was one reason why I was upset at Xbox when it came out and Sega went out of business with the whole making console things. But I will say that it's neat that there's a company out there that's trying to do this. It makes the VMU just neat again, especially for a retro collector like myself. And yeah, there's just a lot of stuff that, again, was revolutionary at the time. Like Caution C-Man had that little microphone that you plug in, plug it to the second slot, it popped out. You could use that same microphone to do online voice chat for games, which is something that the Xbox actually used. They used a similar feature where you plug in a thing and you have to plug in a headset. And yeah, it's just a good time for gaming, man. But I'm going to go ahead and stop the video here. I see that I've taken enough of your time talking about just how cool I think this is. But what do you guys think about it? Do you think this is something that, you know, I'm sure there's people out there that think this is going to be irrelevant. You know, it's like, why do we care about a console that came out 24 years ago? You know, why do we care about this VMU? I care. I think it's something that's neat. And I was actually thinking about this last night, and I might do another video on this later on in the week, about these older consoles and how they had these revolutionary ideas that developers didn't really want to even have anything to do with. But it's like, you know, you don't really have to use it, right? Like, as an example, with this Dreamcast, there are literally memory units that don't have any screen on it. I have one. It's like 4 times the memory, I think, of a regular VMU because it's holding nothing but storage, but it doesn't have a screen on it. But it's used simply for storage, for holding games. That's it. You don't have to use the VMU. You don't have to use certain features from certain consoles that I'm not going to talk about, because even now with the Nintendo Switch, there are certain features that are on it that aren't being used. Let's just be honest. But that's going to be it for me, guys. I appreciate you watching, and again, I do apologize for boring you to death in this video, especially if you don't care about retro stuff like I do. And I do apologize for the lack of videos here. I know there wasn't a Rewind podcast, and I don't think I did a video. Did I do a video Wednesday? I think I might have. I might not. I don't remember. But just there's been all kinds of stuff that's been going on with work lately and with my personal life that's just been sort of drawing my attention away more, and I'm not trying to do that, and I do apologize. But I appreciate you watching, and hopefully I'll have something for you on Wednesday as long as we got some news that pops up, even if it's something old like this that I think is just cool to talk about. But that's going to be it for me. Have a good one, and I will see you next time. Let's go retro.